Hello, and welcome to GoblinHQ Incorporated plays Nemesis, a 1 to 5 player semi-co-op game of horror and intrigue. Designed by Adam Kwapinski. Sorry if I butchered your name. It is a game that takes place on the starship Nemesis. It has mysteriously dropped out of hyperspace on its way back to Earth due to certain malfunctions, and you find the body of one of your comrades mysteriously dead. It is your job to find out what is wrong with the starship and to complete certain objectives. So this is not going to be a full how to play. I'm just going to play it as a co-op game. There are some certain rules changes which I will explain, and I will explain what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So if you pay attention and kind of follow along, you will sort of learn how to play, but there are plenty of other how to play videos on YouTube that will do a much better job of explaining what the how-tos and what-to-dos are in this game. I am using the alternate side of the board for those of you who do own it or are familiar with it. I find this board to be a little bit better. For those of you who are familiar, it has two vent spaces, the red one and the blue one, and the evacuation pod spaces are predetermined, so they're not randomly placed like the other rooms. I always find that odd because on more than one occasion I've had the evacuation pod rooms come up side by side, and I can get behind the other rooms being randomly placed and in all kinds of funky places on the ship, but for some reason that one bugs me. Just a minor nitpick, but speaking of that, the reason the rooms are randomly placed and you don't know where they are, even though this is your ship, is because apparently when you come out of hyperspace sleep, your memory's not quite what it used to be, or you're still kind of groggy when you come up, so you have to re-explore your ship, so to speak, in order to rediscover everything. So in this solo play, I haven't chosen a character yet, nor have I chosen my objectives. I'm going to randomly shuffle up the character draft cards and use that to determine my character, which I'm doing right now. So let's see who I get stuck with. Everything else has been predetermined. I mean, not predetermined, shuffled up. I think I should give the serious wound, intruder, attack, and event cards or shuffle up. Those are the cards that are going to really... So let's see. Let's see who I got. The scout. Okay, so I will be playing as the scout this game. So let us get her stuff set up real quick. Scout playing card. Her starting items and objective cards, or side quest cards, I guess they call them. Her action cards. And we will also choose our starting objectives. Now they have a whole set of solo and co-op objectives, so if you want to play this game co-op with your friends instead of kind of semi-co-op. And what they mean by semi-co-op is that there are you get two objectives in this game when you set it up. You get one that's mostly friendly, and then you get one that's given to you by the corporation, which is similar to but legally distinct from Weyland-Yutani, because this game, it may or may not be inspired by a certain franchise with the word alien in it. And that corporation objective usually pits you against the other players, because you're usually trying to do something involving the Intruders, as they are called in this game, that typically endangers the rest of the crew, possibly even yourself. So, let's see, my two objectives are no man left behind, send the signal, and all the rooms on the ship must be explored, and emergency post-mortem, place the blue character corpse object in the surgery room. And the blue character corpse is the corpse of our friend here. We're not using the other corpse card tokens because, well, we don't have any other players that will die, so they don't come into play. So I'm just going to set that stuff back in the box real fast. Stuff it. Some of my cards fell down and now they're getting all damaged. I hate that. Alright. Next up, like I said, I'm going to shuffle up these event cards, because I don't think I shuffled them from the last time I played through this game. So I just want to be sure that I'm not going to get a whole host of events that I've seen before. Same with attacks. Because that can really bite you in the butt, quite literally. And serious wounds. Okay. Now, quest objectives. We'll set right there. And my starting item is a rifle that has 4 ammo, and I know there's a lot of stuff in this game that you can't see on the screen right now. I am limited in my setup capabilities here. A lot of the intruder stuff is off to the screen over this way. There are currently 5 eggs in the nest, 3 intruder weaknesses which need to be discovered. Well, they don't need to be discovered, but they'll probably help me should I decide to make a combative stance against these things. Okay, start with a hand of 5. And I think we are ready to roll. Oh, no, we're not. One important key thing. My character. Okay, so, like I said, I'm not going to go through a whole how to play, but I am going to describe basically how to play. So, every action you take, during a solo I don't have to worry about player turns, but on a player's turn you can take 1 or 2 actions, and each action costs you to discard a certain amount of cards from your hand in order to perform. If you take 1 action, you will have to pass, which means you are done for the round, which means you can take no more actions. So the first thing I want to do, since I have to send the signal or place the blue character corpse object in the surgery room, I haven't decided which one of these objectives I'm going to take yet. I will decide permanently when I face my first intruder. I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up this character corpse card, or token rather. And in order to pick up a heavy object, which is what that corpse is, it'll cost me 1 card. So I'll discard this card, discard a card to pick that up, and it'll occupy my left-hand slot. The next action I'm going to do is I'm going to move, which costs a card. So I'll use that card. The interruption card, which is actually useless in a solo play because it's used to kind of mess up other players. You discard it to cancel an action performed by another player in the room you're in. So if you don't want them doing something and they absolutely insist on doing it, that's what you do to stop them. So I'm going down this corridor to this room. And the first thing you do when you discover a room is you flip over the exploration tile, which is these separate little tiles on top of them, to figure out what's wrong or happening in that room. And these tiles will tell you at the very top, they have a little number that tells you how many items are in that room, and then there's a little icon on it that tells you kind of an event that's happening there in the room. And they vary from this room is malfunctioning, to this room is on fire, to this room will slime you, and various other things. So this room has 2 items. It is the emergency room, which is a good room because it'll allow me to treat wounds should I get wounded. Now during a solo play, you have to divide the amount of items in there by half, rounded up. So this room doesn't have 2, it only has 1 item, and it is malfunctioning. Which means I will take one of these lovely acrylic gear tokens, put it in there to signify that it is malfunctioning. And that means I cannot use its normal function without first repairing it, which I have the card to do, but it'll cost me the rest of my turn. Well, no matter what I do, it's going to do that. But I don't have any wounds to heal at this point, so I'm not going to do that anyway. Also, another thing to note about this side of the board is all the number 1 rooms are on this side, and all the number 2 rooms are on this side. So it makes exploration a little more well, I mean, I guess the same could be said about the other side, because all the number 1 rooms are on the outer ring, and all the number 2 rooms are on the inner ring, so exploration is just as easy on the other side too. But I think what I want to do is I'm going to use the search card, which costs 0 cards in addition to it, and it allows me to get the 1 item that is in there. Now when you search for items, whatever color the room is, they'll be in red, yellow, or green, or white. You'll take over to you can see them on the screen here, whatever color the deck is, and you'll take 2 cards off the top of that deck and choose whatever one you want. For the white rooms, they are a mix. You can choose whatever deck you want. You can't mix and match though, so you couldn't take like a green and a red item and choose one of those. So I have a choice between clothes and an adrenaline injection. Now the clothes will allow me to discard a slime marker or dress a serious wound, both of which are good, and an adrenaline injection, which will allow me to draw a card and play all my actions in a single turn. The second effect is basically useless in a co-op game because that's kind of what I'm doing already. I do need to watch that. If I'm in a room with fire, though, I do need to pay attention to how many actions I'm doing before I pass and everything, because at the end of every 2 actions in pass, I'm supposed to be taking a light wound. So if that ever comes up, I do need to pay attention to how many actions I'm doing. I think I'm going to take the clothes. I think that'll be more useful. Because when you get slimed, things... Oh, I forgot to make a noise roll. Every time you move into a room, you make what's called a noise roll. And this determines where you're hearing spooky noises from, what corridor. I rolled a 2. So they come with these little yellow tokens, and these determine where you're hearing the noises from. And a 2, as indicated by this little thing right here, and the little blue thing, means I'm hearing noises coming from the blue vents. They call them technical corridors in this game, but they're the like vents and the areas where all the wiring and stuff of the ship is going. So okay, so that was 3, and then for 4, I think I'm going to continue on. I'm going to discard that card to move to this room. Just another malfunctioning room, and it will have 2 items because 4 divided by half is 2, and it's the fire control system, and that'll allow me to put out fires should the need arise. And another noise roll. 2 again, but this time 2 is an actual hallway right there. And with that, should I push my luck? Yeah, I think I am. I'm going to move again. Because I need to find the surgery room and I need to find the comms room. So I'm going to go here to this room. Another malfunctioning room. Hey, look, surgery. It's malfunctioning, but that's okay. And I'm just going to drop this off right away, because you can just drop off items, it doesn't matter. And 4. Already starting to load this up with spooky noises. Okay. And then we pass. So what happens when you pass? When all the players have passed, the round is over. So you move the time marker down. Then any intruders in the same room as other players, they would get attacks, which would be determined by attack cards for them. Then any intruders in rooms with fire would take a point of damage. Now we would resolve an event card. Now these are what usually bites me in the butt. There's one event card in here that has just dead stopped games for solo games for me in the past. Because there are times when you get larva on you, which basically means you have a chest burster in you. Not to mince words, because basically let's call a duck a duck. And it's called Eclosion. And it basically, the card just says if you have a larva on you, you die. And because there's no other players here, the game just ends. And it's kind of a bummer. So, what event do we have? Regeneration. Each intruder on the board heals 2 entries. That's nothing, because there are no intruders. So, we got to pass on that. Next comes bag regeneration, or bag development. Now, this bag right here has a bunch of tokens in it that represent all the intruders that are currently lurking on the ship somewhere. Okay, and bag development determines kind of the forward momentum of their evolution, so to speak. So there's some larvas in here, there's some adults in here, there's a creeper in here, there's a queen, and this is going to determine kind of what they are doing behind the scenes. So we're going to pull one, So I pulled a larva. So what happens with a larva is the larva goes away. So I'm going to set it over here. I'm actually going to move these a little closer so I don't have to stretch so far. The larva goes away, and we take another adult token and throw it in the bag. So a larva has matured into another adult. And now we start a new round. Draw 5 new cards, 4, 5, and begin again. So, given that I have already achieved emergency post-mortem, if I were to suffer my first encounter, I could, in theory, if I found if I could wait it out or set up the coordinates and everything, I could just set the ship on a safe route home and just be done with the game. But that's easier said than done. So, because there's a lot of steps to that. Because it sounds easy. It's just like, place the blue character corpse object in the surgery room. Oh, you're done. You've won the game. Sort of. That's only one step. See, what I've done is I've completed this objective. But there's other steps to it. In order to fully complete the objective, I have to make sure that the ship safely returns to Earth, which means I have to check the engine status, make sure 2 of my engines are working. I have to check the coordinates, make sure it's on a safe path to Earth. And I have to survive, which means I also have to get into get back into hypersleep. They call it the hibernatorium. I don't like that word. It's a little weird to say. So I still have to travel the ship in order to make sure those other objectives are complete. So, and I can't just jump into an escape pod and leave, because the escape pods won't unlock automatically. There's a special room that you have to unlock them with, or you have to trigger the self-destruct sequence, and they won't unlock until after the self-destruct sequence enters its critical stage. So there's a bunch of other things that are happening here. It's not just an easy process to do. So, starting with our new round, I am going to search this room because it is a green room, so it'll give me medical supplies, and having medical supplies is never a bad thing. So, reduce the item counter to 0 because it only had 1. Draw 2 cards, and let's see what we got. Military drugs. And bandages. I'm taking bandages. Always got to be able to dress those wounds, because those wounds will kill you. Made it funny. Laugh, damn you, laugh. Okay. And then I'm going to play the reconnaissance card. Now, the reconnaissance card is an action that says move to any neighboring room without making a noise roll, but it'll cost me to discard an additional card in order to play it. So, which one of these do I want to do? I think I'm going to do suppressive fire. Just going to discard that, and we are going to actually make our way to the engines. Okay, so didn't matter that I didn't have to make a noise roll, because the exploration token did it for me. So 2 items divided by half is 1. Found the storage room, but I got a danger token for this one, which is all these little claw marks, which means that all the corridors around this room are exhibiting danger. Okay. And, oh man, something bad happens. I need cards. Because surprise attacks are based on the amount of cards you have in your hand. If you can equal or be greater than a certain number, you won't get surprised attacked. But if you have no cards in your hand, you're going to get attacked. So I think I'm just going to hold on to it, and we're going to pass. So another round goes by, and we just go straight to the events, because none of those... see, here's the card that kills me usually. Eclosion. Each character with a larva on their character board dies, and you place a creeper in their room. That wouldn't happen because I'm the only player, so the ship would just be overrun at that point. Every character draws 4 cards from their deck and scans all containment cards. Well, I don't have any containment cards, so I don't need to really do that, except for to follow steps of precedence, because those cards need to be discarded. So it's cycling my deck is what it's doing. My action cards, it's cycling them. So this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Look, no containment cards, so those get discarded. Okay. Alright, now we go to the bag development. What are these intruders doing? What do we get? We got an adult. So this is where our first encounter happens. So when you draw an adult, you make a noise roll. I got a 3. So because of the noise, or the danger token that I had for going into the storage, it was inevitable. So whenever you match a noise token with a noise roll, you clear all the noise tokens that go into the room, and you get an encounter. See, told you I should have kept on this. Probably not going to help me. So when you get an encounter, you draw another token from the bag, and this determines what's in the room with you. Let's see what we got. Ooh, the queen. Lovely. Yeah, that big old thing. Now, while I appreciate these sculpts, they're very neat, they're very detailed, they're too big. Alright, let's see if she does a surprise attack. 4, which is greater than my 2. So she gets an attack. Maybe. If her symbol matches what's on the card, and it does. So she bites me. If the character has 2 serious wounds, I do not. They die. So I do not die, but I do suffer a serious wound. So what's my serious wound? I am bleeding. Each time you pass in the player phase, your character suffers a light wound. So yeah, I'm going to want to address that as soon as possible. Okay, so that was bag development. And now we start a new round. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Killing the queen is a pain in the butt too. Oh yeah, I have to choose my... Had my first encounter, I have to choose my objective. I don't think I want to take the time to explore all the rooms on the ship. I mean, it's probably going to happen, but seeing as how I just got exploitive word up. I just got fucked up big time. I think I'm just going to go ahead and choose emergency post-mortem because it's already done. Now all I have to do is just make sure to try and get the ship on a safe route. But like I said, that's not going to be easy. Alright. So, what I need to do with this queen here, I can try and escape her. I think that's the best bet. I don't think I'm going to be able to kill her. I mean, I might be able to, but I doubt it. She pulls out 2 cards for her health. To determine anytime you attack an intruder, you pull 2 of their attack cards, which have a number up in their upper right-hand corner. Is that right? Yeah, upper right-hand corner, and you add them together for their health. The queen pulls 2 of them. So doing enough damage to her to kill her is pretty difficult. But I do have suppressive fire, so I can escape this room without her attacking me. It'll cost me an ammo, but I'm going to do it. So, action 1, I'm going to keep these separate because it's easier that way. So, discard an ammo. And we're going to have to check on the engine, so we're going to go this way. And what do we got in here? A malfunctioning room. I found the nest. Oof. I found the nest. No wonder she was so close. So, none of the stuff on that exploration token matters. I still have to make a noise roll for that. 4. Okay, searching isn't going to do anything. But I am going to searching isn't going to do anything for the next 2. And I don't want to pass, so I'm going to discard search to use my bandages to allow me to dress a serious wound. And I'm going to dress my bleeding because I do not want to suffer any light wounds. So serious wounds are these cards right here that have a negative effect on their face-up property, and when you dress them, you flip them face down. So you still have a serious wound, it's just bandage. And then there will be other cards later on, or effects such as the emergency room, and I think surgery, which will allow you to get rid of them. So, if you have 3 of these and you suffer any kind of wound after that, serious or light, you die. So, okay. So after that, I want to move, just normal move, because I want to get to the engine room. I got to check on these engines. So, noise roll 2. Right there. And then my other action, I won't have any cards, so hopefully nothing bad happens. I want to check on the status of this engine. So I will be able to, and it is working. I can leave it face up since I'm the only player. Normally, during a normal play, you would look at it secretly, and you could lie to your other players if you want the ship to blow up or however you want to play it. But since it's just me and I'm not trying to deceive anybody. Okay. And that is it. So we pass. Let's see. Intruders are not attacking, fire damage, and event card. So let's see. Event cards also determine up here at the top. I don't know if you can see that, but up here at the top they have little icons that match the intruders, and they determine what corridors they would be moving down if they're moving. There is no queen moving. Remove from the board all intruders which are not in a room with a character. All intruders which are not in a room with a character. So the queen comes off the board. And she goes back in the bag. So her token goes back in the bag. So she had her fun and she left. It's a good thing I didn't attack her, because when intruders come off the board, their damage resets. So it would have all just been a waste anyway. Okay, bag development. And an adult, so we're going to make a noise roll. 3. The one spot I did not roll. So if I make any more noise in the engine room, which I am actually going to leave next turn, it's in the red corridors. And then the adult goes back in. Okay. 1. This game can get pretty tense, especially when you're playing with other players, whether co-op or normal, because there's a lot happening. You have players but hearing noises all over the ship. You have intruders popping up, and they're all trying to do things and make sure the ship is on the right course, or maybe not, trying to unlock escape pods so that they can be the only ones to survive or whatever. It's a pretty cool game. I'm very glad that I got it. 4, 5. All right, let us be on our way. Reconnaissance, yes, please. We're going to play reconnaissance, which asks us to discard a card to play it. Without making a noise roll, we're going to go to the nest, because the nest is not a good place. And then we're going to move out of the nest here, but we will have to make a noise roll for that, 2. But that's okay, because that has cleared. So we're going to search the storage room. That is a red room, which means it typically has ammo and weapons. This could be useful. The self-destruct key. I'm going to take that. If I find myself struggling to get to the cockpit or to another engine room, well, it won't be difficult to get to another engine room, but if I find myself struggling to get to the cockpit, I can always initiate the self-destruct and just try to get to an escape pod. And just get off the ship that way. So, and that was 2. Do I want to push it? Do I want to push it? No. No, I don't. Yes, no, I don't. No, I don't. Because if I have to pull a larva, I don't want to be immediately infected by those damn things, so I'm just going to pass. If a larva comes out and you get a surprise encounter with those, they don't roll, they don't do any attack cards or anything, they just automatically infect you and you get a larva token. It's horrible. It's horrible. And then you pull the inclusion card and it's just all kinds of bad stuff. Next event. The bulkheads open. Open all doors. Except destroyed doors. Well, duh. So, nothing happens because no doors are closed. So, three. Well, I hope you guys are having fun watching this, kind of learning what's going on and everything. I know that watching people play can be a bit dull sometimes, but I'm having fun playing for you guys and trying to describe what's going on within the game, trying to make a narrative out of it. So, well, what do we want to do this round? We have found the storage and the nest. The nest they apparently have built next to the engines. I dropped my character corpse in the surgery room like my objective wanted. Whatever happened to our friend might happen to us next. That's what the flavor text on the card says. I found the self-destruct key in the storage room. That might be my ticket off this ship, because things are quickly getting out of control. I think I'm going to use scavenging to discard and move. We're going to move here. We have to check on our other engine. One. Oh, dang. Should have re-picked up that corpse. When you have a corpse and you take it to... Oops, what am I doing? When you have an... Oh, I should have picked up an egg while I was in the nest. Damn it. Wasn't thinking. You take an egg or a corpse of either an intruder or a dead person and you take it to the laboratory. You can use the laboratory to discover intruder weaknesses. Which will help you which will help you better defeat them, like I said earlier, in combat, should you take a more combative route. Okay, well, this got I think I'm just going to search this room for my second action. It's another green room. And you can search rooms that are malfunctioning. You just can't. The only thing the malfunctioning thing prevents you from doing is using the computer icon, which will allow you to access certain other cards and stuff like that. And it prevents you from using the room's main function. That's what the malfunctioning thing does. It doesn't prevent you from searching. So, well, I don't have a choice in this. Pulled two of the same card. I do have alcohol and clothes, which certain items, when you pull them, they have a little blue icon up here, a little gear with a little icon in them. And you can use those items to craft other items. Now, because I have clothes, which has a little like a flag or rag icon, and the alcohol, which has a little flame icon, according to the crafting chart on my player board, I can use those to craft a Molotov cocktail. Let's see what those do. The crafting items are a separate deck that have It's not random, so you can keep those in. So I can choose a room with an intruder, the one you are in or a neighboring room, and place a fire marker in that room. Oh. Oh, too bad you can't just throw it in a room. Just any room. I would set that nest on fire. Just burn it down. Good to know for later. Fire can get out of hand though. There's event cards that cause fire to spread, and there's only 8 fire tokens. And if you have to place a fire token and can't, the ship explodes and you die. So, you gotta be careful with that. Just like in real life. Same thing with malfunction tokens. So I might want to work on getting rid of some of these too. Speaking of which, I should probably go ahead and do that. I'm going to use basic repairs, discard 2 cards for that, and we'll clear that so that we have 1 less malfunction token towards our destruction. And we'll pass because we don't have anything else to do. We'll go to the event. Hatching. Discard 1 egg. There were 5, but now there are 4. Any characters in the nest? I am not. If no character was infested, I was not. Put a larva token in the bag. We get a new larva token in there. Lovely. Okay. Alright, let's see what happens when the bag develops now. Let's see if I pull a larva and it turns into an adult. Nope, I have an adult. So I'm gonna have oh man, I don't have any cards. Dang it. I'm gonna have an encounter and I'm gonna get attacked again. Doesn't even matter. 1, 2, 3, 4. I may have to attack this one. Yeah, an adult. An adult this time. Glad it's not the queen. Adults are actually killable. Okay, let's see what they attack me with. They bite. If they have 2 serious wounds, they die. Otherwise, they suffer a serious wound. Ugh. Bleeding again. Damn it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. At least I haven't gotten infected yet. Okay, how am I going to deal with this? I can't use that in combat. I can move away and just dress it. I don't... Maybe I should... Nope, because I'm going to have to come back this way anyway. So I should probably just attack it. Not keen on that, but alright, we'll attack it. Not keen on that. Discard 1 ammo, roll a combat die. I miss. Imagine that. I didn't draw any of my combat cards, that's why. I'll try it again. 2 hits this time. I'm good, glad for that. So we have 2 damage on it. Let's see how much health it has. 4. It fluctuates, so it's not permanent. And then I'm not going to do this, so might as well use that to try and kill it. Come on, good roll. Miss. Damn it. Poop it. Oh, I don't have any ammo. What am I doing? I was like, I'm going to attack it again, but I don't have any ammo to attack it with. I can try and hit it, like melee attack it, but yeah, I'm going to have to. I don't remember exactly. I know I get a contamination card for melee attacks, but damn. Because I have 2 serious wounds and I can't pass. I have to be able to... So we get a contamination card. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, I got a wound. I hit it, I think. Yeah. God, if I don't. 5. This is going to be hard. This is going to be not good. Because if I pass, I'm going to suffer a light wound. Then he's going to attack me and deal a bunch of damage. And... dang. Not going to be able to... not going to be able to address it anyway. I should have just ran. Should have just ran. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? Screw it. Let's attack him again. Okay. It's hard to know what these results mean. They're not always clear. Okay. I hit him with again. And he leaves. Oh, what a butthole. He ran away. So he goes down corridor 2. So he runs over to here. Still has 4 health on him. I mean 4 damage, but he runs away. At least he won't be... at least he won't be attacking me. Okay, so I got nothing. I got to attack. I got to pass, which means I'm bleeding from exerting myself, and I'm all exhausted because of all the contamination I've got. And pass, say go. So getting down to it. I could just, next round, I could just go to the hibernatorium and hope my luck pans out. I think there's only one coordinates card that actually says if the coordinates are set to slot B, it's set for Earth. So I don't think that's it. I think I'm gonna have to make my way to the evac pods. Oh boy. So I pass. We do an event card. Adults are not moving. Flammable compounds. Flame marker in hibernatorium. That's not good. See, flames are dangerous. Started already. All right. Alright, let's see here. What do I got? I drew a contamination card, so that's essentially a dead card in my hand, just sucking up space. Should I chase it down? Try and kill it? No. First thing I need to do is I need to dress a serious wound. It's the absolute first thing I need to do. So, I'm going to use... Actually, I have a couple options here. Those two... So, I'm going to dress my serious wound using my clothes, make a makeshift bandage out of it so I'm no longer bleeding. I'm going to look up the rooms, make sure I can't use laboratory to fix up anything. No, I cannot. Surgery is going to be a nice room to visit. I want to search. This will go down to 0 items. Get some more medical things, maybe. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Med kit. Get rid of a breast wound. That's awesome. We're going to do that right now. Heal 1 dressed wound. I am okay with that. And then I'm going to discard that card. To use alcohol, which will I have to scan the contamination card in my hand. Hopefully it's not. It is not infected. So I get to remove it. Cool. I'm on the mend. And pass. Found a bit of solace. Okay, event. Adult moving down corridor 1. Ooh, he's attracted by the smell of the dead corpse in surgery. Damaging fire. Place a malfunction marker in each room with fire. Place a fire marker in each room neighboring a room with fire. See what I mean about fire getting out of control? Need to get to that fire control room. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, bags. Bag development. Did I do bag development last time? I don't think I did. I think I skipped it. So let's do it again. Oh no, I did. That's what caused my attack. I think. Shit. So many steps to keep track of when you're by yourself. We'll say I did. Okay, so new round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right, I've got 7 turns to get out of here, try and make it to the cockpit, and yeah, that's not going to happen. I think I'm going to have to do the self-destruct. So I'm going to move using demolition to here. Noise roll. We got a noise in corridor 3. Then that noise you're hearing is my dog snoring at my feet. Oh, I wanted to use the fire control, but I don't think I can. I think I'm just going to rest, which is going to allow me to scan my contamination card and discard it if it is not. And it is not. Lucky, lucky. Okay, so that's 2. I want to put out this fire, but I can't. I can't. What's a... I'm going to scavenge, which is kind of a worse search card. I have to discard a card for it, so this is a yellow room, so got some stuff here. Oh, this is a double whammy. Discard a malfunction marker, or I can fully load my weapon. I need to get rid of the malfunction marker, so the duct tape. That's probably the worst call, but we'll pass. Event. The adult. Moving down 2. See, I knew that was going to happen. Life support failure. Place a malfunction marker in each explored green room. Oh, great. And luckily they already have it, so... remove this event from the game. Cool. And shuffle all the other ones back in. Great. Yeah. Oops. Just when I thought things were going to go my way. I discarded, so I can't use suppressive fire anyway. I don't have any ammo to discard for it. Dang it. Dang it. I don't know. Well, I can just... Dang, this is truly playing out like a movie like that, you know? I get one thing, a solace in the laboratory, you know, it kind of heal up some of my wounds, and bandage myself a little bit, and all of a sudden, you know, I'm like, oh, I got to put out the fire on the ship, and then all of a sudden, boom! There's an explosion. And now I've got a... Oh, man. Now I've got to try and deal with some stuff. Well, I can't. Nope, I can't. Can't do it. I'm gonna need adrenaline. Escape movement. Draw a card. He's gonna get an attack on me. Gets a scratch, light wound, and contamination card. And I'm gonna make a stupid noise roll. 1. Okay. So that was 1 action. I need to get out of this room because I don't want to end my turn here. Oh, because there's fire over there too. I'm gonna have to suffer, like, I'm gonna get a serious wound there too. Shit. Bummer. So we'll do reconnaissance. I'll discard interruption for it. So I'm gonna get a serious wound no matter how you look at it. So 1, and I'm slimed. Stuff going all to hell. 2 items. Airlock control. I can put out fires. That's cool. Maybe. I did reconnaissance, so I don't have to make a noise roll. Well, that's good. But that was my second action, so my turn ends, and I have to make... I get a serious wound for that. Character only has 1 hand slot for heavy items and objects. If they have 2, drop 1. That's not too bad. And what is this? Yellow. I can search this place. 1. Let's do that. 1, 2. I'll take the tools, which will allow me to basically do everything the duct tape does, except for its last one. The tools allow me to open and close 1 door. So that's cool. And then I'm going to use my scavenging card to move to this place. Oh, and it's on fire. Son of a... Gosh, this whole ship is just gonna burn to the ground. And 3, which causes an encounter as well. Oh my goodness gracious. The Queen. The Queen comes back. And I definitely can't match her, so let's see what she attacks. Yes, she does attack. If you have 2 serious wounds, they die. I am dead. And that's Nemesis. Oh, I made a mad dash to the evacuation pods. The ship was on fire and malfunctioning. I was going to initiate the self-destruct. I think I was going to go back into the airlock control and try and put out some of these fires so that I wouldn't, or at least the fire in airlock control. I mean the escape pod room, so that I wouldn't suffer damage. But the Queen showed up and decided to bite my head off. So, yeah. Let's see how my luck panned out with the ship going to where it was going to go. It was set to coordinates B. It was going off into deep space, nowhere. If the engines were even working, they were. Yeah, only 2 engines need to be working in order for it to do what it does. Engine 2 and 3 were working. And the next event would have been the nest. The Queen would have, no, the Queen wouldn't have moved because she's got nice prey where she is. So, yeah. Well, and that's Nemesis. Similar to, but legally distinct from a certain franchise with the word alien in it. But let's be perfectly honest, it is Alien, the board game. It's actually Alien franchise, the board game. And if you haven't played it and you are into kind of heavy-ish board games, I definitely recommend giving it a shot. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot more fun playing it than watching it, especially with more players, because you get that whole semi-co-op experience where you have other players working to their own agendas. Like I said, there's other objectives from like the corporation and personal objectives where they might do something that's totally not cool. Like this one right here is player 1's character cannot survive. So you're trying to make sure that player 1 doesn't survive. And then there's your character is the only survivor. So you're trying to trap everybody else on the ship while damaging the other engine so that the ship doesn't get to where it needs to go. And you know, player 2's character can't survive. Player 3 character can't survive. And you know, and every character is randomly dished out a player reference which has their player number on them. So that's how you determine player number. You know, at least 2 intruder weaknesses must be discovered. You know, that one's not so bad because, you know, other players might be cool with that because intruder weaknesses make combating them, like I said, makes it easier if you're taking a more combative stance against them. But other players might be more keen on, hey, let's just get off this ship, while other players are like, no, let's stay and just kill them. You know, so that creates a dissension amongst the ranks. This one is called My Precious. Send the signal and finish the game in an escape pod or hibernation with an intruder egg. So you have one player that's trying to find an egg and get into the escape pod with it and take it home, basically. And the other players are like, what are you doing? That's not cool. So, you know, you have very thematic objectives for all the players. That may or may not coincide with the other players' objectives. The other different players you have are the mechanic, the scientist, the soldier, the pilot, and the captain. And all the character decks, there's only 10 cards in them, but they each have cards that represent a couple cards that represent their their individual roles that play off of their strengths. Like the soldier has a bunch of cards that allow him to be more combative against the intruders. While the mechanic actually has cards that allow him, I believe, to go through the technical corridors. And the scientist has cards that have like reduced costs for doing things that go through like the laboratory and the surgery. You know, things like that. So again, that's Nemesis, aka Aliens, or Alien, depending on how you play. And it is definitely worth a gander, if not a buy. I thank you all for joining me. If you enjoyed this, like it. If you enjoy the stuff that I have on here, subscribe. I know I don't post all that often or put up content often enough, but you know, for me this isn't a full-time gig. This is just something I do for fun. I enjoy your traffic. I enjoy you guys stopping by and joining me and watching what I put up, leaving comments below telling me everything that you like and things like that. And yeah, so yeah, thanks again for joining, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Play more games.